Hello, hello, hello. I could not be more excited. Today, what I am bringing to the community is a global invitation for true transformation. And this is part of the Living Powerfully experience. I know. It's so wonderful. What we get to do is we get to turn courageous conversations into intentional activations, meaning it's not just about talk, it's about real action and changing the status quo. So, we had talked previously about we just celebrated the 60th anniversary of MLK's March on Washington, right? So at the bottom here, what I'm saying for the next year, you're going to hear me talking about being committed to continuing MLK's dream. I love that. And when you think about the dream, you might be wondering, what part of the dream? Well, the Better Together Empowerment Series is focused on three specific focus areas. The first one is this idea of fostering inclusion, diversity, equity, inclusion, belonging, and justice. All of those things in business and in life. We all want to feel included. So this is for everyone. The second focus area is this idea of supporting Black businesses and wealth building for everyone. The third is really empowering youth development and professional development. Whether you're working in a corporation, working in a business, or you're an entrepreneur, you deserve to be developed too. You deserve to be able to live your best life, to live your full potential. That's my definition of being committed to continuing the dream. So as I mentioned, we're focused on a true transformation. So it's a combination of the Better Together Empowerment Series and what we call the Living Powerfully experience. So let me introduce myself. My name is Dr. Traci Harrell, and I am the founder and the owner of an organization called It's All Bigger Than Me. It's All Bigger Than Me Consulting, and we focus on consulting, coaching, training, and transformations. Now, what I didn't say on the prior slide, what I didn't say when we were talking about the Better Together Empowerment Series is I am the immediate past president for the National Black MBA Association Seattle chapter. And our current president is Dr. James Carter. And what he is truly passionate about are all of these things, right? Our organization was founded over 52 years ago on these principles. So when we focus on the Better Together Empowerment Series and the Living Powerfully experience, that is the recipe for true transformation. That's how we're committed to actually driving change. So I'm excited. We have an article, right, that's actually going to be published in something called the Opportunity Link. It's a newspaper, an online resource that is being developed by Mr. Corbett Mosley. And the article really talks about a few things. It allows me to present this training opportunity. It allows us to talk about this global opportunity or this invitation for true transformation. And the way I actually started this message, and this is really me talking to each of you. If you're an individual who wants to live your best life, if you're one of those organizations that's a part of WEIR, the Washington Employers for Racial Equity, this is for you. Right. We love the work that's happening. There's several organizations that are doing some absolutely amazing work. And so they reached out to me as president of the Black MBA and asked me to help amplify and accelerate the work that's happening aligned with WEIR. And again, WEIR is a coalition, but each of the organizations have committed to progress, committed to really the things that MLK was all about. So when you think about the story of being committed to continuing MLK's dream, that's really what all of these employers have been focused on. So what I get to do is really remind us that just a month ago or less, right, we just celebrated the 60th anniversary of MLK's March on Washington. So it was also the anniversary of his famous I Have a Dream speech. And what was interesting is, thank you, what was interesting is the theme, both locally and nationally. The theme for this 60th anniversary was Dream Unfinished. Not a commemoration, but a continuation. Do you love that? We're continuing the dream. So those of us that are committed to continuing the dream, this is just a reminder that every day we get to show up being extremely intentional. I love it. So then I have to ask each of you, what is your dream? What are you going to do to continue MLK's dream? I mean, the things we talked about with the Better Together Empowerment Series are things that we all want. We know they're important. We know we can be a part of the solution. So what are you going to do? And if you don't think about it, if you don't focus on it, then you're not going to drive change. So think about what you want to do to continue the dream. Because the one thing that we do know is that together, our dreams can be realized. Without a doubt. It's better together, right? That's why we call it the Better Together Empowerment Series, right? And it's not just talk, because the Living Powerfully experience is proven strategies, tools, techniques that's research-based, Harvard-based, right? 1 million people have done this work. So now I'm bringing it to community. I'm bringing it to us to say, guys, there's no reason we can't all live our best lives. There's no reason we can't live our best lives. So first, ask yourself, what is your dream? And if you know that together our dreams can be realized, then get super excited right now because we have practical solutions. We actually know how to help you to change your life. We have solutions that will help you to live your best, your most successful, and your most powerful year yet. I know it's October and you're like, Lord, we're about to coast into the end of the year, but no. Do not coast out of 2023 without showing up full force with the belief and almost a satisfaction guaranteed that you can make this your best, your most successful year yet. And you might be wondering, really? Is that possible? Yes. There's a book called The 12-Week Year. And it basically says if you are laser focused, you can do more in 12 weeks than most people do in 12 months. So I'm asking everyone to amplify, fortify, right? Retestify. I like to rhyme. So what are your dreams? And based on what your dreams are, identify what you want to accomplish for yourself, for your team, for your organization, for your community. If we can really focus and envision what we want our dreams to be, just know that we have solutions. And I'm going to tell you all about the solutions today. And we're going to continue to stay focused. We're going to continue to do this work together, right? Living Powerfully is about choosing solutions that work, that will allow us to do exactly what we hope to accomplish in our lives by being intentional. And it's not an imaginary thing. This is for real. So we're inviting you to join us for both the Better Together Empowerment Series and the Living Powerfully experience. So our next call to action, the official call to action, is going to be, we've been doing this on the 4th Thursday of every month. So we're not changing that for October. It'll likely change for November and December because we got Thanksgiving and Christmas. But for October, we're sticking to the 4th Thursday of the month. It's October 26th, a Thursday, and we're starting at 5:30 right here live. And we're going to ask you to sign up because those who sign up are going to get free. Listen to me, y'all. Free information, free activation. It's a call to action because I know we have solutions for you, right? Join us. And you are satisfaction guaranteed. If you do the work, you will get the results. Period. End of story. So our next call to action is Thursday, October 26th at 5:30. We have a bit.ly here for you to register. So go ahead and either type it in. There's also a QR code somewhere. He's going to actually put this in the chat. Can you type this in the chat, please? It's a bit.ly. So it's bit.ly.living_powerfully. And then the date, 10/26/23. bit.ly / living with a capital L _ powerfully, capital P _ the date, which is 10/26/23. So if we're saying, hey, our next call to action is going to be 10/26/23, and the reason we're being very formal because now it's time to activate, right? We're not talking about what we're talking about. We're going to be activating. That's kind of Southern when you say don't talk about what you talk about. It's about real talk and real action for real change. So it's not just conversation, right? This is now our time. It's a call to action. If you've been doing the work, yay, we want to celebrate you. We want to amplify what you've been doing. If you've just been talking or your team has been talking or your organization has been talking, but you can see that they're not necessarily moving forward, join us. It's better together, baby. And we are going to be living powerfully, right? We can look back over the next 12 weeks, right? Before we get to the end of the year. This can still be your best year yet. And then 2024 would be even better than this year. But don't end this year. Don't coast the end of this year. Decide that I want this to be truly my best year yet, specifically focused on things around empowerment, empowering yourself, business, wealth, youth, live your best life, improving relationships. There's tons of great things. So you might be asking, okay, Traci, I hear you, right? I hear you talking about the Better Together Empowerment Series and the Living Powerfully experience, but what really is in it for me? I'm so glad you asked. As you can see on the slide, and these are not exaggerations. This is all research-based. So you get a few things. This is just a very summarized list, but you're going to get a few things. First, we've all lived some pretty stressful lives, right? Many of us are traumatized just coming through COVID, right? Traumatized in the world that we live in today. There's an opportunity, right, for us to really reduce our level of stress. So you're going to have less stress, more happiness. Who doesn't want more joy, more happiness? You're also going to improve your mental wellness. And this isn't a guess. Again, did I mention it's Harvard-based? It is. Harvard-based. It's about the neuroscience of the brain, cognitive behavioral psychology, performance science, and positive psychology. Guaranteed research-based to work, right? We say satisfaction guaranteed. And we're going to be offering this for free in community, high level. And then we're going to also be offering organizations an opportunity to go deeper, right? There's an 8-week program, 6 to 8 week program that is kind of a jump start. So if you want to do it as an individual, join us. If you want to do this as a team, you have some leaders in your team that are like, you know what, I could use all these things. Less stress, more happiness, mental wellness. That's just the beginning. You also get improved performance. I know. Improved effectiveness. Who doesn't want that? You get to be better personally and professionally. As an individual, you get improvements as a team. Your organization will be improved. These are things that over 1 million people have done, right? If you look up positiveintelligence.com, that's the website. Traci didn't make this up. I just happen to be a master coach, so I get to share this with the world. And it's $1,000 for the program for 6 or 7 weeks. That's typically how they put it out there into the universe. I'm actually going to be able to offer scholarships to people who apply. So first step is to join us on 10/26. We're going to have you complete a survey, some information about why do you want to do this thing, and then we're going to offer it free for some. We're going to ask others to bring your organizations in. If you can pay, you should, right? If you can't, and this will benefit you and your organization, we got scholarships. Like that's what the Black MBA, the National Black MBA Association, we won a little baby grant to be able to bring this, and I'm donating my time for free. Thank you. But the app, you also get a free app, so that's not free. Like there's a small cost for that. So we're covering the cost for certain things. I'm offering my services as a coach for free. We're bringing in others as well. So what I'm excited about is, I'm gonna get back to the what's in it for you, but I just want to clarify. It's not like I'm making this up. It almost sounds too good to be true. So I get back to the what's in it for you. Less stress, more happiness, and mental wellness. Improved performance, both as an individual, as a team, and as an organization. Increased happiness, well-being, and confidence. And again, if you go to the site, you'll see the research-based, scientifically proven numbers and the percentages. It's like 87, 94% people are more empathetic. They're more, it's great numbers. You can't, there's nothing like this exists. right? With this number of metrics, you get free assessments along the way. It's so good. Anyway, the last bullet talks about strengthening relationships, improving collaboration, teamwork, and trust. These are all of them. This is just a little summary of the benefits that you get from participating in the Better Together Empowerment Series and the Living Powerfully experience. And this is actually based on positive intelligence. And the WHO is involved. It's three main organizations, right? So I mentioned the National Black MBA Association, Seattle chapter. Black MBA has been around for 52 years. The Seattle chapter is currently being run by Dr. James Carter. And one of our founders of Black MBA, Dr. Alex Gabin, is a huge proponent of us doing work like this in community to drive change. They founded the organization on these principles of better together, right? On the idea that we can live powerfully, that we had a responsibility and an opportunity to bring the things that we know that we've learned in the corporate space into community to make our communities better. Like, this is why the organization was founded. So I'm excited to be able to bring my wealth of knowledge and experience, my certifications and all the things. When I say this is what I was born to do, oh my God, I could do this all day. I can help people all day. And I have my own methodology that's called transformational inclusive leadership. It's built on a lot of the similar work with positive intelligence, but they've been doing it longer, so they have a lot more content, and it's more of a baseline kind of principles, tools, and strategies, etc. It's really baseline because it'll apply to everything. And then I actually build on people who are more senior, more in leadership roles. That's my work around transformational inclusive leadership. So you do have to have a baseline first, because I've had experiences where you could talk about diversity, equity, and inclusion, or you could talk about leadership performance, you can talk about executive development, all that kind of stuff. But if you don't have a foundation around, like, we agree on what success looks like, you're not going to be able to be successful long term. And this is all about long-term success. It's about changing the status quo. So I'm excited. So here's the WHO. Black MBA, the National Black MBA Association, Seattle chapter. My little company, It's All Bigger Than Me Consulting. Again, it's consulting, coaching, training, and transformations is my expertise. And then WEAR. Oh my goodness. Let me tell you about WEAR. It's Washington Employers for Racial Equity. So the leaders of that organization reached out to me a few years ago, initially, when they first started this whole commitment to progress, and they wanted me to help amplify and accelerate the work that they were doing. Well, guess what? We agreed to do that work. We have still agreed to do that work. They needed to get some measurements done, which they've done. There's a lot of good work that has already happened. We want to make sure we bring that information, the activations, the things that are happening, the work that they were committed to do, that is some really good stuff. But if community is not aware of it, then you're not going to get the input or the output that you want in a large capacity, right? You're not going to get the changes at scale. And that's really what this is all about. So I'm excited to be working with anyone who signed up for the WEAR. And there's 80 to 100 organizations. Some of these leaders are like so proud to tell their stories, and we're going to bring some of their videos in. We're going to talk about some of the things they've done. We want to make sure you're aware, right? They committed $2 billion over 5 years. And so my commitment to each of you is to at least bring $1 billion worth of activation that they have done in the individual organizations to community. You should be aware of, like, what's happening. How have they invested these dollars to improve your life, to help you to live powerfully? There's lots of great stuff happening. So more to come. That's what we're doing throughout 2024. So get ready. I'm super excited. So again, the WHO involved is the National Black MBA Association. It's All Bigger Than Me Consulting, my company, and then we are Washington Employers for Racial Equity. But it's also, we've connected with the University of Washington, the NAACP, right, Seattle and Tacoma, numerous universities, numerous civic organizations, other community organizations, many volunteers. So when I say we're doing this, it's on. Let me just say that. So the WHO is who's driving this, and who is really responsible for making sure this gets done. It's any company that's signed up, and that's all of them. Signed up for this WEAR commitment to progress. It's basically all of them, right? It's the Microsofts, it's the Vulcans, it's the Amazons, it's the Boeings, but it's 80 to 100 of the top employers. So we got some work to do, and it's going to be so awesome to elevate and to share what they're doing. So again, did I mention that our next call to action is the fourth Thursday of October, 10/26? That is right, at 5:30, and you can register. It's going to be broadcast live just like this on StreamYard. So you're going to see it on Facebooks, both for Black MBA and It's All Bigger Than Me. You're going to see it on my LinkedIn, YouTube, all the things, as well as we're doing this on Rainier Avenue Radio right now. So it's going to be on Rainier Avenue Radio as well. I'm super excited about that. So let me just move on. So you might be asking, okay, so I'm going to get all these great benefits, but how? How? Like, we're going to give the details. So on 10/26, it's not going to just be me talking about what you're going to get. We're going to go into some of the details and make sure you're very clear what we're asking you to sign up for, because we are asking you to sign up. We're asking you to commit to yourself, and whether you sign up and do anything, some people will be able to go deep, will get access to this app and all these tools and skills, and some people will get that because you're ready, but everyone's not ready. Let me be clear, this is not for everyone. If you're okay coasting through life, this is not for you. This is for people who are like, hey, I realize my days are numbered. Did I mention I had a stroke on Christmas Day? Like literally. 10 months ago, I had a stroke. Multiple strokes, actually. So I know my days are numbered. So I'm here saying I'm not leaving any of this on the table. So before you is a woman who said, I am committed to continuing MLK's dream because I can. It's not just a dream for Black people. It's a dream for everyone. Red, blue, yellow, green, purple, right? Everybody. Everyone. If you have a brain and you're a human being, this will work for you. That's what we're excited about. So how is it going to work? Well, you're going to get to learn very specific, proven, research-based tools and skills. This has all been like proven through Harvard and 100 other universities. Over 1 million people have used this positive intelligence. So it's not new at all, but it's just been typically used by senior executives and leaders, people that can afford to spend $1,000 over 6 weeks. That's not what you're doing through me. That's not, again, we're offering scholarships. We're going to be creating a space. We also get a discount because you're part of a team. So we'll talk more about that on 10/26. So, but there is a thing. So if you want it for free, we're going to give you an opportunity to get it for free. You're going to have to commit yourself to doing some work over a period of time. But we want people to truly change and to thrive. And then once people see how amazing your journey is, then everybody's going to want it. So that's what we want. We want everyone to live their best life. So again, our next call to action is 10/26. You see how to join us. It's a bit.ly, living_powerfully at _10/26/23. Now, again, this is the what, the when, the how, the who. I want to put all the questions out there. So you're like, well, why are you doing this again? What exactly is happening? Well, we started by saying we just celebrated 60 years of MLK's March on Washington, right? We talked about the National Black MBA, which was founded, 50-something years ago on the same principles, right, of creating equity, economic and intellectual empowerment. That's what we all want. So that's what this is about as well. So the Better Together Empowerment Series was designed to really focus on 3 areas. So we want change and transformation within our communities at a systemic level. And what we know is that change to systems only happen when people change. Because we make up the systems. We are the systems. So we can talk about changing the system. They will change, but they only change when you change. Systems only change when we show up differently, right? When we show up differently. So what I love about this, and I think we've got 3 minutes before the first commercial break. So I'm going to get through this little part here to say that there's 3 focus areas, right? Fostering diversity, equity, and inclusion, and belonging in business and in life, right? So we all want that. And this isn't just diversity, equity, and inclusion for Black people. We're saying everybody should feel included. Inclusion and being part of a something bigger than you. That's what all humans want. We also want to support Black businesses, which are at a disadvantage in 1,000 different ways. We want to support all businesses too. Be lying if I said I wasn't focusing on the unique challenges that I have experienced myself, right? But every business owner will benefit, right? And we also want to focus on wealth for all, because we know when we raise the tide for one, we raise the tide for all. We also are focusing on empowering youth and professional development for everyone. Y'all listen. If you think for a minute this isn't for you, think again. So together, what we do know is that we can make a positive change together. And we can make a change for generations to come. Did I mention that our next our next session is on 10/26? Here's a flyer. I think we're going to go to a commercial break in a couple minutes. And what I'm going to do when you come back from the commercial break is I'm going to tell you about the how. We're going to go a little bit deeper into what positive intelligence is. But what you see here on this flyer is it's an opportunity for you to make this year your best, your most successful, and your most powerful year yet. If you want more happiness and less stress, if you want improved performance for yourself, your team, and individuals in your organization, if you want to strengthen your relationships, your teamwork, your build trust, this is for you. That's it. I guess I got 1 minute, so let me just close with this. The bit.ly, we want you to register right now. Type in bit.ly/living_powerfully, capital L and capital P, underscore the date of 10/26/23. Y'all, it's on 10/26/23. I couldn't be more excited. We're going to be doing some very calming transitions as we go into break. This is about living powerfully. So just breathe deeply, relax. And when we come back, we're going to tell you more about how to live powerfully. This is my happy place. The beach. We call these a PQ moment. So just breathe.
Hey Seattle, here are some storage tips to love food, stop waste. Onions make potatoes sprout faster. Keep onions away from potatoes. Ripe bananas give off a gas that makes the fruit around them ripen faster. Store bananas away from other fruits. 40% of food in the U.S. goes uneaten. Save money, save food, save the planet. Visit Seattle Public Utilities for more tips.
What's up, everyone? It's your girl, Queen Bree, inviting you to come join me on Clean Greens Living. Broadcasted Tuesdays, 12:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, live right here on Rainier Avenue Radio. On Clean Greens Living, we talk farming, community, and ways to being healthy. So come join me and let's discuss ways to create a healthier you and a healthier community.
You're listening to Rainier Avenue Radio.world. I'm Granville Emerson along with my partner, Ronald Pepe Dean, and we host the show Lidline Sports right here on Rainier Avenue Radio.world, where we talk about football, basketball, local sports, national sports, Seahawks, UW, Seattle U Redhawks, Garfield Bulldogs, all that and more right here on Lidline Sports, Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
Welcome to our live studio audience for another exciting edition of And here we go with round one.
COVID vaccine is free and easy to get. You don't need insurance or an appointment to get your vaccine. Vaccines are available at many locations near you.
And now we're going to double the value.
COVID-19 vaccine is always free of cost. You can visit pharmacies, community health centers, and other health providers in your neighborhood.
And now for the lightning round.
The Delta variant of COVID is a mutation that has health experts worried because it's twice as contagious.
Then for our finale.
The best way to protect yourself from the COVID Delta variant is to get fully vaccinated. Get your vaccine today.
Find out more at kingcounty.gov/vaccine.
I'm Paul Pearson, host of Star Time, And when I'm not deep frying a turducken in a closed garage, I'm listening to Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
Y'all, I could not be more excited. I can't. So we just talked about living powerfully, what it is, what it's all about. We also talked about the Better Together Empowerment Series. And one of the things that we do with living powerfully, this is the how. How do you live powerfully? One of the things is just by relaxing. Being able to choose moments where you can just breathe slowly. This is my happy place. Beach scene, whether you call this a sunrise or a sunset, right? But being able to breathe deeply and then recognizing and being clear, what does living powerfully mean to you? What it means to me is I get to bring my gifts into community to truly change the status quo. I could not be happier. Now, let me just move on because we're going to talk about living powerfully, right? So this video, which I'm not going to play because it actually has a little, we're on radio, but I do play it sometimes when I'm doing the video. But you remember the scene where you had Chris Rock standing on stage at the Oscars and Will Smith comes on stage and smacks him, right? It's a 2-minute clip, which is what this is, but we're not going to play it. But if you remember that clip, the reason I like playing it is because it shows both extremes of the concept of living powerfully, right? What I'm bringing to you is something called positive intelligence. Positive intelligence, again, it's research-based. It's everything you need to know about the brain, right? Sometimes our brain is working against us, right? It's sabotaging our success. We call those, it's when the saboteurs hijack our behavior. And then sometimes we're in a position where we are so calm, so in flow, maximum creativity, laser focus on the goals. That's when our sage, or the right side of our brain, is actually taking over. So this little clip here is really the left side and the right side both being activated in 2 minutes. Will Smith takes himself on stage because, you know, Chris Rock says a joke about his wife. Will Smith laughs and looks over at his wife. She's not happy. So now he's triggered. He's triggered from his childhood, from whatever is going on in the relationship. But he's triggered. He thinks he needs to go up there and defend her in some way. So he does. That's what we call when you're being triggered, when you're being hijacked by a saboteur. And we all have those situations. So when we use the term living powerfully, it's about knowing in the moment how to minimize those saboteurs, to hijack them, to intercept them before they have you walking up on stage acting up, right? Before they have you doing something that you're going to regret, before they distract you from the goal that you want to accomplish. That's why only 20% of individuals truly achieve their full potential. Research-based. It's because we don't address those saboteurs, things that have shown up for us in some ways that are part of our gifts. But when they're overused, overapplied, those saboteurs take us off track. They hijack us and you don't achieve the goals that you want. But simultaneously, what you saw Chris Rock doing in the moment, after he kind of was like, wow, that was the most exciting thing that's happened on television in a while, right? Wow. Okay, dude, calm down. You know, like, we can't, you know, I'm gonna give out the next prize. Like if you remember, that was sage. That was him actually staying calm in the midst of a storm, a very public, unexpected storm. So what I'm offering you through living powerfully, through positive intelligence, is really the opportunity to live your best life, to accomplish your dreams, to basically be able to minimize those saboteurs and increase the sage, increase your superpowers. They're literally superpowers when you're able to do this in the moment. When you're able to find joy, reduce stress, work better with others, collaborate, have more empathy. That's what this is about. So anyway, that's just one of my favorite clips. But I'll move on. I also like to show this because the visual of living powerfully, if you think about it, if you think about waves, like you can't stop the tides, right? No one could possibly stop the power of the tides. So when you see a big wave, if you think about life, as a series of waves that can either crash down on you and destroy what's on land, or if you look at this dude, he has a surfboard. He's learned some skills. He has a tool and some skills that says, hey, bring it on. I can't wait for the biggest wave if you got some surfing skills. So what living powerfully is, what positive intelligence is, it's the surfboard of life. It allows you to it doesn't matter what crazy people are around you doing whatever they're doing. You get to show up powerfully and expertly, exceptionally. That's what living powerfully is all about. So again, there are times when life is full of storms, like this one. Sometimes you can barely stand on your own 2 feet. We know that to be true, right? It's hard to just stay afloat, right? When that's happening, what if there was a space where you could be like, bring it on. It's just a storm, right? It's how bad something is or how good it is. It's based on your perspective. And so the saboteurs say that was horrible. And the sage says, is it? Or is there a gift and an opportunity for me to learn something from that same situation? That's why I love these 2 visuals. Now, when I think about the term living powerfully, when I think about this, there's certain people that show up in my head, right? People that I know, admire, love the work that they do because they love the work that they do. Oprah Winfrey is obviously my number one. I'm like a huge Oprah fan, right? Deepak Chopra, one of my favorite books by him is The 7 Laws of Spiritual Success. So I love the work that he does. You can see Denzel and Celine Dion, and you got some of the people that are just powerhouses in their fields. When they show up on screen, I'm like, look at my people. That's what you want in your life. You want people to see you when you show up and you wake up every morning. You're living powerfully and you like, hey, I'm doing exactly what I was meant to do. Guess what I'm doing right now? Sitting here in amongst the leaves and the trees. I'm living powerfully. This is exactly what I was meant to do. Yay. So this concept of living powerfully is a combination of both positive intelligence and something that I created, a transformational experience called transformational inclusive leadership. So it's a proprietary methodology, both of these are. But positive intelligence is one that has been trained by millions. We have all the content, all the documentation, everything that I'm going to be able to take you through. And it's like a foundation to you living powerfully. You will find immediate benefits. Join us on 1026 and we're going to give you some immediate skills. And if you don't decide to do the long-term, the 6 to 8 week program, no problem. It's not for everyone. You got to be ready, committed to do the work, right? No problem. And it ain't a lot of work. We'll talk about what it looks like. But what I love about this is knowing that there's different levels of amplification, different levels of activation. That's what really gets me excited. So positive intelligence is really that ground zero. It's like, how do you change the system? You change yourself. How do you improve your team? You change yourself. How do you improve an organization? You change yourself. How do you improve the community? You change yourself. So when you change, people around you change, your team improves, your organization improves, your community improves, but all you can really do is focus on you. Right? The good news is when you sign up with this program for us as a leader, as a community leader, which most of you are, you're leading something. I have a lady came to me and she's like, look, I need this for me and my daughter. I'm a single mom and I need for my 18-year-old, my 17-year-old about to be 18, and my 13-year-old to have these skills so they can show up expertly as women. I love that. She was like, I need this. I was like, you got it. You're in. Right? So for individuals who know that they want to thrive, that they want new skills, we got you. Just sign up. So again, my name is Dr. Traci Harrell. I'm president of It's All Bigger Than Me Consulting. And if you want to learn how to live powerfully, which means if you want peak performance, maximum performance, that's available to you. It's available. If you want peace of mind and wellness, that's what you get with living powerfully. That's what you get as a part of positive intelligence. It's like a baseline expectation. If you want healthy relationships, to be able to manage conflict, if you want to build trust, if you want a thriving business, if you want to do well in your organization, That's what positive intelligence offers. And again, you don't have to believe me. Go to positiveintelligence.com. A million people have done it. I just happen to be able to bring it to you at scale in a way that most people cannot. And once you join our organization, you'll get 3 free seats for members of your family. That's the beautiful part as well. So you're going to join this as an organization, as a team, or as an individual that says, here's who I am, right? We'll have like people together. If you don't come together in a pod, we're going to pull people together as well. But this is about truly living your very best life. So my goal today how much time do I have left? Keep me on the track. So my goal today is to do 3 things, right? It's going to be focused on awareness, action, and accountability. Can you be clear? Thank you very much. Sorry. So give me a countdown every 5 minutes. Thank you very much. So we're going to do 3 things: awareness, action, and accountability. So we're going to expand your awareness about how to increase your performance as a leader and as a business, right? Whether you're in work, school, as a student, whatever you're doing, this is about how to increase your performance and your effectiveness. It's so exciting. It sounds almost too good to be true, which is why I'm like, let me just show you. You don't have to believe me. Let me just show you, right, how you can live your best life. We're going to showcase the value of PQ. PQ is the definition of, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute, but it's positive intelligence, right? We're going to invite you on a journey to do 3 simple actions, and we're going to increase your accountability. So we're basically saying, if you say you want the thing, if you say you want to do these things, where are you at in your progress? Are you getting the results you want? And if not, let us help you, right? It's enough. Stop talking about it. Here's what you can do. Here's something you can do that is satisfaction guaranteed. If you show up, you're going to get the results. It's just scientifically proven. So what I love about this is PQ is maybe new for some people, but you've all heard of the term IQ, right? IQ, this intellectual quotient, this intelligence quotient. And you look at average IQ between 85 and 115, and genius is anyone over 160, right? So IQ is your ability to reason and solve problems. You know this term, most of you. Most of you also know the term EQ for emotional intelligence, and there's so many benefits of EQ, right? This concept of self-awareness, self-regulation, empathy, motivation, improving your social skills, your ability to truly connect and overcome challenges with ease, right? That's EQ. So what I love about PQ is it's the best of both of those things. It's EQ and IQ. It's skills, it's your ability to deliver, but it's also that social aspect, right? So it's a combination. It's the best of both EQ and IQ. That's what PQ is. And so if I had to define PQ even more clearly, it is the percentage of time that your mind is working for you, if it's the right side of your mind, or working against you or sabotaging you. That's when you're in survival mode versus how much time you're in thrival mode. So there's all kind of beautiful assessments that you'll be able to take. There's a first assessment is around identifying your saboteurs. I'll give you that link in a minute. But then there's also like, what is your PQ? Like, what is your actual number? How much time are you there? And then you take that a few times. And so there's all kind of great stuff. I love this because it's assessment heavy, minor little 5-minute quick assessments that you can do that give you the information that says, oh God, I'm making progress. And then you're also going to see progress because people are going to be like, oh my God, like you're I'm experiencing you differently. Again, that storm is coming. The waves are coming. No one's stopping the waves. You can't. But you got a surfboard now and you're like, bring it on, baby. I can't wait. That's how I am right now. Like, I can't wait for the, and I'm going to be clear, I don't want no extra challenges, but when things happen to me right now, I know that it's all for my good. It's all going to work out for me. That's what we call the sage perspective. And let me tell you a little bit more about that. But positive intelligence, again, this idea of PQ, it's the best of IQ and EQ, combining breakthroughs from neuroscience, cognitive behavioral psychology, I mentioned this before, positive psychology, and then performance science. This is what I know. Like, I've literally been studying these things for decades. So when I saw positive intelligence, I'm like, these are my people. This is my stuff. This is what I was meant to do. Just so we're clear. I'll keep moving. But it really helps individuals and organizations, teams, etc., improve their overall well-being, their success, their performance, all of the things, right? And so I'll just take a moment for myself. Hold, please. Okay. So the reason I love this whole concept is you can see I get excited. I do. I love this. I love this because it's about when those forks in the road show up, right? This is about the fork in the road. Some event happens. Somebody, let's say that never happens, but something happens. And you get to decide in that moment, I put the brakes on. I get to pause and choose. PQ is about when I had that video up during the break, kind of going out and back into the break, and there was a video. And I said, just pause and breathe. That's a PQ moment. But you can take a PQ moment at any point in time. PQ is about pausing and breathing and choosing, right? They want you to be present. You can do something as minor as like breathing and touching your two fingers together so lightly. You're just being in this moment. I just want to focus on these two fingers, rubbing them together so delicately that you can actually even feel the ridges on your fingertips. I need a little bit more stimulation physically. I'm going to rub my fingertips, all 5 fingertips together. I'm going to rub the palm of my hands. But I'm going to be in this moment. So I'm not thinking about anything else. When there's stress and things happen, I'm right here. I'm breathing. I'm here. I'm feeling my butt in the chair. I'm feeling my feet on the table, on the ground, or whatever's going on. Like I am in this moment. That's a PQ moment. You get to pause and choose. And what you get to choose is one of two things. You get to choose, am I going to follow that saboteur? Am I going to go down the path of, oh my God, this is horrible, right? Someone just said a joke about my wife. I better go up on stage and slap him. Was that really the smartest thing? Even Will Smith would say probably not the best moment, right? He could have done 100 different things. Imagine if Will Smith, instead of going up on stage and slapping Chris Rock when he said the joke about his wife. If his wife was looking like, I know he did, right? You know how black women are. We roll our eyes and we're like, Now, Will thought the joke was funny, right? What if Will had paused? Stay with me here. Took a breath himself, whatever he was feeling like doing. What if he had reached over, grabbed his wife's hand and said, baby, you're so beautiful, and I love you. And he just looked her in the eyes and just held her hand and smiled. Situation diffused, different outcome. I'm proud, he's proud, and different outcomes. So a PQ moment, these forks in the road, or an event happens, and you get to choose, was this a bad thing or was this a gift? And what we say with PQ is that everything is a gift, right? So the left side of your brain, that's the survival side. That's when, we'll go into this in a lot more detail on 1026 and beyond, but it's the left side of your brain. When you're just in survival mode, right? When you're reacting to something crazy and you're doing some stuff that your saboteur would tell you some lies about, I better go up there. It's the only way I'm going to, save face in this moment. No, it's not true. It's actually not true, right? So you get to, with this work, with positive intelligence, you get to actually deal with those saboteurs, things that we often haven't dealt with since childhood, right? It's not therapy. It's science. It's science, right? It's the neuroscience of the brain. It's cognitive behavioral psychology. It's positive psychology. It's performance science. Like, we know what actually works. You don't have to go through decades of, I love therapy. I'm actually in therapy, so don't get it twisted. I think therapy is great. But what I'm saying is there are these moments where you get to decide what you're going to do, and you got to remember and understand that there's a left side of your brain and the right side of your brain. The right side of the brain is the side of the brain that serves you. Those PQ moments, being, feeling the chair on your butt, the floor on your feet, your hands, your breathing, that brings control back to your prefrontal cortex, right? That allows your right side of your brain to take control, and you're not being led by your survival instincts, right? Those saboteurs. I love this. So again, this is some of the saboteurs we're going to discover, and we're going to discover them through what we call mental fitness. It's the X factor in both performance and happiness. I love this so much. And here's a picture of the book. right? The book is called Positive Intelligence. It is a bestseller. This is kind of an old image. It says 500,000 participants. They actually talk about over 1 million participants now, right? In 50 countries. It's absolutely amazing. But it's this idea that it's mental fitness. It's a measure of the strength of your positive mental muscles, or what we call the SAGE, and your negative mental muscles, or the saboteurs, right? We all have them. So no one's in trouble because you got a saboteur. It's more about identifying them, seeing them, and minimizing them. This is what positive intelligence is all about. So again, this is one of the free little assessments that you can find either on the website, positiveintelligence.com. You go basically halfway down the page, you'll see something orange that says Discover Your Saboteurs, or we created a bit.ly, same information. We're taking you directly to their site, but it's called Know Yours _Living Powerfully. So know yours, know your saboteurs. It's step one. It's a 5-minute assessment. It's very quick. It's meant to go quick. Don't ponder over the things, right? It's asking you a question, 40 some questions, and then you get some little demographic information. It just goes to you. If you want to share your results with me and you have any questions about it, email me. I'll have my email information in the chat. My goal is to take people on this journey to help you see the benefits of actually living powerfully. My goal is to help each of you to live your best life, to make this your best, your most successful, and your most powerful year yet. So exciting. So go to positiveintelligence.com. We're going to have you do, this is the same slide, it's just a little closer up for you to be able to look at your saboteurs. It's, again, doing an assessment of the part of your mind that does the most damage, right? So this is the first step in the process. Even though you say, well, it's positive psychology, why are you talking about the saboteurs, right? If you're talking about living powerfully, why are we focusing on the saboteurs first? It's just to identify what might be harming you, what might be stopping you from living your best life. You got to be able to see them to say, okay, I see you. No problem. And I love these characters. They're all so cute. They're not meant to condemn you. They're kind of funny. Like my top saboteurs are the first two across the top, right? Controller and hyperachiever, right? You know, who knows me is like, yeah, I can see that. All right. Right. So I love it. 5 minutes left. Damn, excuse me. Sorry. Okay, so we got these saboteurs, the judge and these other accomplished saboteurs. So we're going to talk about more in 1026 is this idea of mental fitness, how to grow the 3 core mental muscles to thrive in challenging times. So again, we said that the impact of positive intelligence is peak performance, peace of mind and wellness, healthy relationships, better conflict management, all of those things. And so if we're saying that there's 4 elements that actually make up positive intelligence, there's positive psychology, performance science, neuroscience, cognitive behavioral psychology. That's really how we make up what is called positive intelligence. And again, 1 million people have done it, and it's really about the power of factor analysis. So just like every color in the rainbow is made up of 3 colors, red, blue, and yellow, similarly, what we know to be true is in order to live your best life, there's only 3 things you have to do. Intercept those saboteurs. You just got to know them. See them and be like, nope, I'm not doing that today, right? I know this is some history. I know I probably, there's something in me that may make me want to do these things, but I'm going to intercept the saboteur. So the more you learn about them over this 6-week period, right? So I'm going to be providing free content to you guys throughout this process. But in order to really thrive, you get an app. They're customized based on your needs, and it's amazing. Like I said, it's a life-changing experience. So you want to intercept the saboteurs, increase your SAGE, right? The SAGE perspective, your SAGE superpowers. There's 5 SAGE superpowers. So wonderful. And then that creates a new level of self-command, self-mastery. So I can really think about this page right here is one of my favorites, right? The PQ Mastery Program is what we're inviting you to be a part of. It's about a true transformation in mental wellness. So just like that caterpillar turns into a butterfly, it changes at a DNA level. You're not the same person. When you do the work, you're not the same. And so the SAGE, as we mentioned, lives in the region of the brain. It's associated with all these positive things. If you want more peace and calm, be clear-headed, be able to think creatively, this right here is the beginning of that, right? It's about adopting what we call the SAGE perspective, believing that every outcome or circumstance, every problem can be turned into a gift or an opportunity. So again, when you think about that fork in the road, you decide, it's a gift. Boom, period. And then you might be like, well, what type of gift? This is the work we do over 6 to 8 weeks, is we focus on what type of gifts. The gift of knowledge, the gift of power, or the gift of information or insights. We'll talk more about that later. But the question is it really true? Like, is it possible to really have a perspective that changes quickly? Yes. If you know there's 10 saboteurs, there's 5 superpowers, just do 3 things. Intercept the saboteurs, increase the sage, and minimize the negative impact and increase the positive impact. So we'll be focusing on these saboteurs. You'll get some results based on that quick assessment that I shared with you. It's going to provide characteristics and thoughts and all kind of cool things. But what we know is any negative emotion is based on your saboteurs. Anytime you feel fear, anxiety, stress, guilt, shame, that's your saboteurs. When you feel sage, it's your, that's the super, that's what we want to amplify, right? So the question might be, are negative emotions good? Just like pain, yeah, sure, but only for a second. You don't allow yourself to live there for any extended time at all. 3 things: intercept those saboteurs, right? Increase the sage and focus on self-command. So I'm going to move on, because what I want you to know is on 1026, this is what we're doing. We're saying that every outcome or circumstance can lead to a gift or an opportunity. 10-second PQ rep is what we're asking you to do. And this is the how. I'm just going to stop here on this side, because this is really the how. The simplicity is stop when you are in saboteur mode, amplify that sage perspective, and then move on. So this is how. It's not about the insights. It's about the mental muscles. It's about really doing the work differently. 15 minutes a day. This is the program. It's a 6-week program. We'll tell you more about it on 1026. And this is what I was meant to do. On 1026, this is how we're asking you to join us. It's living powerfully _102623, y'all. Join us if you really want to change your life. I love this. And this is how you can reach me.